So there are tons of drills out there on how to get your jumps higher, working on flexibility, getting the hips open, keeping the toes pointed, etc. But there's not really a lot out there with how to get your legs back together. And regardless of how high your jumps can be, if the landing is ugly, it's never gonna score high. So in this video, we're gonna show you how to strengthen the muscles that get your legs back together. That'll not only make your jumps better, but for those of you working on things like toe touch tuck, toe touch full, this is gonna help you to make that transition much easier, to make your tumbling after your jumps so much better. Stick with me. So when we're trying to land our jumps, the most important thing is to get your feet back together. If we're jumping with our squad and a couple of people end up landing with their feet here, it really takes away from the aesthetic of the jump sequence. And a lot of times there are exercises that are focused on getting my leg higher, but not a lot on getting the legs back together. And we've had a lot of requests for ways to improve the landing in our jumps. And so today I want to show you guys 3 exercises that can be used to strengthen the muscles on the inside of your leg to help snap those feet back together to make your landings much, much cleaner. The first thing I want to show you involves no equipment. What we'll have you do is lie on your side with your leg straight on the bottom, the top leg draped over just like this. From here, our goal is to point our toe and lift the bottom leg as high as we can, and then lower back down. Now with this, we can do reps where we're lifting and lowering, or we can work on just lifting and holding until we feel a good burn in the leg. Now, one thing that we tend to see with this that is incorrect is if that leg gets too far in front, or if we start to see the knee bend. We want to make sure that leg is completely straight, it's in line with our hip. If we need to get low here, we can, just to make sure our body lines are clean. But the most important thing is to keep the leg straight, raise, hold, and lower, or we're working through repetitions. If you do reps here, make sure we're not just flopping the leg up and down, we're really feeling a good contraction. And if you want to really help with the hips staying open, we can also work on getting the knee higher as we work through this exercise, just to make sure that we're not getting collapsed in on the other leg. Now, what we can do to make this more challenging is take a simple weight for our ankles. We can wrap that around. Doesn't have to be anything major, just a couple of pounds will do. And again, we're going through the same thing here, lifting and lowering, lifting and lowering, or just working on a static hold. Okay, again, should feel that kind of that burning or muscle contraction right on the inside of your thigh. Okay, the next exercise that we can do involves using our mats. So we can use mats here, we can use a folded panel mat, we can use the edge of the tumble track, really anything that we can get our foot elevated to. And this one is a bit more challenging, so if we find that this exercise is too challenging, move past it, work on the strength with the leg raised, and then come back to this one. So for this exercise, we would take our top leg and extend it onto our elevated surface. Again, making sure that our hips are forward. We don't want to be too far back. We want to be nice and even. And with that other leg, we can either place it in front or we can bend, okay? From here, we're gonna raise up to what looks like a side plank. Now the goal from here is to raise this bottom leg off the floor to isolate the muscle on the inside of the leg. Now from here, again, we can do some static holds. We can also work on raises, making sure that we feel, again, the contraction here, making sure that leg stays straight and our hip stays in line with the leg. We don't want to get too far back, and we don't want to get lazy and get too far to the front, okay? For here, again, if we're working repetitions, make sure that we're raising and lowering under control. If we're doing our holds, we want to, again, try to work anywhere from that 30 to 60 second mark and work on a few reps of that on both sides. Now, I know a lot of the movements that we've been doing are in a shorter range, which is helpful, but if we're gonna be pulling a jump down from way high, we wanna make sure that we're working through a full range of motion. So taking our band, we can anchor this off pretty much to any point that's strong. We're gonna use the bottom of a piece of rod floor, and we're gonna take our band and anchor it off at a low point. Now from here, once we have our loop, we can either do a loop, or if you have a straight band that you can tie a circle in it and anchor it off below, that also works. We're gonna take our band and create some tension from somewhat far. Okay, so we're getting a bigger range of motion here. Now our goal from here is to create balance here, so sturdy hip, and then pull across and back out. And if that resistance is too high, play with your distance away. And we're gonna pull across and go back out. Now again with this, depending on how firm your resistance band is or how stretchy it is, you can work on getting further and pulling across. This band is pretty heavy, so getting a little bit closer and maybe opening up this way and pulling across can be extremely helpful there. Now what's fun about this one is you can play with the direction that your foot is going. I can pull to the front and work these muscles here. I can pull directly back in line, or I can even get behind and work on pulling behind here for some added stability work and just hitting these muscles from a different angle. And so by utilizing these 3 different exercises, we can use just body weight, we can use minimal equipment, or we can get our bands out and work some bigger ranges of motion. Now by working on, again, strengthening these muscles here, it's gonna give us the strength and speed that we need to snap our legs back together to make the landing on your jumps much cleaner. Thanks for joining me for this video. I hope these exercises are helpful. I know the cleaning up on the jump landing is a very, very big thing that a lot of times athletes struggle to find resources for, and it doesn't take much. 3 little exercises just like this can be scaled up as high as we need to, or start as low as we need to make sure we match your current fitness level. For more videos on jumps, click the link above. And if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, I don't know why you're being crazy, click this link here, hit the bell for notifications. Check out cheerleadingblueprints.com and also hit zeronutrition.com, the only company out there creating wellness products for cheer athletes. We'll catch you on the next video.